Interracial relationships to the 12 tribes of Yashael. What does Ahiah say about this? Before we begin, please understand, this is an educational video geared towards the scattered 12 tribes of Yashael across the diaspora. We worship and serve the true living God, Ahiah. I am not speaking to them who worship a different God. If anyone takes offense to what I am expounding on, then that is definitely between you and Ahiah. I am purely teaching truth to my people, Yashael. This right here is the image that this world wants those of us who are of the 12 tribes to observe and to hold in our spirit. Don't they look so happy, so blissful, so fulfilled? Or how about this image? The way he looks at her, like he adores her, like he wants to protect her. How about how she looks at him with so much love and adoration in her eyes? This increasingly forced narrative is what we are going to discuss today. The law as given to Moses, presented to the 12 tribes of Yashael.
Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1 through 4. And Isaac called Jacob, and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban thy mother's brother. And Ahiah, Almighty, bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people. And give thee the blessing of Abraham, to thee, and to thy seed, with thee. That thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Ahiah gave unto Abraham. Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment, mingled of linen and woolen, come upon thee. Numbers, chapter 25, verse 6 through 15. And behold, one of the children of Yashael came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Yashael, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Yashael into the tent, and thrust both of them through. The man of Yashael, and the woman, through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Yashael. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And Ahiah spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Yashael, while he was zealous for my sake, among them. That I consumed not the children of Yashael, in my jealousy. Wherefore say, Behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. And he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Yashael. Now the name of the Yashaelite, that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a chief house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianitish woman, that was slain, was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head over a people, and of a chief house in Midian. Jasher, chapter 85, verse 62 through 63. Then there was a man, of the children of Simeon, whose name was Zimri, the son of Salu, who connected himself with the Midianite, Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, king of Midian, in the sight of all the children of Yashael. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw this wicked thing which Zimri had done. He took a spear and rose up and went after them, pierced them both, and killed them, and the pestilence ceased from the children of Yashael.
Clearly, when the law was given to Yashael, Moses made it clear that mixing is not lawful according to the living God that we serve, Ahiah. So what is this image that they place before our faces? This is the reason the Yashaelite man and Midianitish woman was killed in the Yashaelite camp in front of the whole nation. Ahiah's commandments.
Numbers, chapter 36, verse 6 through 9. This is the thing which Ahiah doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them marry to whom they think best, only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Yashael remove from tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Yashael shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Yashael shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Yashael may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe. But every one of the tribes of the children of Yashael shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1 through 11. When Ahiah, thy God, shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Ahiah, thy God, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Ahiah be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Ahiah, thy God. Ahiah, thy God, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Ahiah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Ahiah loved you, and because he would keep the oath, which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Ahiah brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know, therefore, that Ahiah, thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenants and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments, to 1,000 generations. And repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hates him, he will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which I command thee this day, to do them. Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 9 through 11. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed, which thou hast sown, and the fruit of thy vineyard, be defiled. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
So far, what we are seeing is that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is against mixing anything. Those of us who are descendants of Yashael, the children of Yashael, have a different set of laws and commandments from the rest of the world. I personally do not hate anyone. I am simply being obedient to the living God I serve, and I'm helping my people to do the same. The story of Samson.
Judges, chapter 13, verse 1 through 5. And the children of Jasher did evil again, in the sight of Ahiah, and Ahiah delivered them into the hand of the Philistines, 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of Ahiah appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto Ahiah from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Jasher out of the hand of the Philistines. Judges, chapter 14, verse 1 through 4. And Samson went down to Timnath, and saw a woman in Timnath, of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up, and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath, of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman, among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleases me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of Ahiah, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time, the Philistines had dominion over Jasher. Judges, chapter 14, verse 19 through 20. And the spirit of Ahiah came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Judges, chapter 15, verse 3 through 8. And Samson said, concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing corn of the Philistines, and burned up both the shocks, and also the standing corn, with the vineyards and olives. Then the Philistines said, Who hath done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife, and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up, and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, Though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh, with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Edom. Judges, chapter 15, verse 14 through 17. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him. And the spirit of Ahiah came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place, Ramath Lehi. Judges, chapter 16, verse 4, 16 through 17, 19, and 22. And it came to pass afterward, that he loved a woman in the valley of Sork, whose name was Delilah. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, There hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto Ahiah from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and be like any other man. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. Judges, chapter 16, verse 28 through 30. And Samson called unto Ahiah, and said, O Ahiah, God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other, with his left. And Samson said, Let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead, which he slew at his death, were more than they which he slew in his life.
As you can see, Samson was used as the ultimate weapon against the Philistines. It is, and still was, unlawful to marry outside of our tribes. But, as you see, Samson was the exception to the rule. King Solomon.
1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1 through 13. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Of the nations concerning which Ahiah said unto the children of Yashael, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with Ahiah, his God, as was the heart of David, his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Ahiah, and went not fully after Ahiah, as did David, his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Moloch, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise, did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And Ahiah was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from Ahiah, God of Yashael, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which Ahiah commanded. Wherefore, Ahiah said unto Solomon, Forasmuch as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant, and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding in thy days, I will not do it for David, thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son, for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
Here we have the wisest, richest, most handsome king of all time, and because he greatly lusted after the Gentile women, our kingdom became divided. Ezra the prophet.
Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1 through 5. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, The people of Yashael, and the priests, and the Levites, have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head, and of my beard, and sat down astonied. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of the God of Yashael, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice I arose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees, and spread out my hands unto Yah, my God. Ezra, chapter 10, verse 1 through 17. Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of Yah, there assembled unto him out of Yashael a very great congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept very sore. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, We have trespassed against our God, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land, yet now there is hope in Yashael, concerning this thing. Now, therefore, let us make a covenant with our God, to put away all the wives, and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for this matter belongeth unto thee. We also will be with thee. Be of good courage, and do it. Then arose Ezra, and made the chief priests, the Levites, and all Yashael, to swear that they should do according to this word. And they swear. Then Ezra rose up from before the house of Yah, and went into the chamber of Johanan, the son of Eliashib, and when he came thither, he did eat no bread, nor drink water. For he mourned because of the transgression of them that had been carried away. And they made proclamation throughout Judah and Jerusalem, unto all the children of the captivity, that they should gather themselves together unto Jerusalem. And that whosoever would not come within 3 days, according to the counsel of the princes and the elders, all his substance should be forfeited, and himself separated from the congregation of those that had been carried away. Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together unto Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month, and all the people sat in the street of the house of Yah, trembling because of this matter, and for the great rain. And Ezra, the priest, stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed, and have taken strange wives, to increase the trespass of Yashael. Now, therefore, make confession unto Yah, God of your fathers, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the land, and from the strange wives. Then all the congregation answered and said with a loud voice, As thou hast said, so must we do. But the people are many, and it is a time of much rain, and we are not able to stand without, neither is this a work of 1 day or 2. For we are many that have transgressed in this thing. Let now our rulers of all the congregation stand, and let all them which have taken strange wives in our cities, come at appointed times. And with them the elders of every city, and the judges thereof, until the fierce wrath of our God, for this matter, be turned from us. Only Jonathan, the son of Asahel, and Jaasha, the son of Tikva, were employed about this matter, and Meshullam and Shabbethel the Levite helped them. And the children of the captivity did so. And Ezra, the priest, with certain chief of the fathers, after the house of their fathers, and all of them by their names, were separated and sat down in the first day of the 10th month, to examine the matter. And they made an end with all the men that had taken strange wives, by the first day of the first month. Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 1 through 3, and 23 through 29. On that day, they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and therein was found written, that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of Yah forever. Because they met not the children of Yashael with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, that he should curse them. Howbeit, our God turned the curse into a blessing. Now it came to pass, when they had heard the law, that they separated from Yashael all the mixed multitude. In those days also, saw I Hebrews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Hebrews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by Yah, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Yashael, sin by these things? Yet among many nations, was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and Ahijah made him king over all Yashael. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil? To transgress against our God in marrying strange wives? And one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Eliashib the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. Therefore, I chased him from me. Remember them, O my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and of the Levites.
The separation wasn't easy, but in the quest for Yashael to be obedient, the congregation was regretful as they followed through with the process. The Book of Jubilees.
Jubilees, chapter 20, verse 4. He said, If any woman or maid commits fornication among you, burn her with fire. And do not let them commit fornication with her with their eyes or their heart, and do not let them take to themselves wives from the daughters of Canaan, because the offspring of Canaan will be rooted out of the land. Jubilees, chapter 22, verse 20 through 21. Jacob, be warned. Do not take a wife from any offspring of the daughters of Canaan, for all his offspring are to be rooted out of the earth. Because of the transgression of Ham, Canaan erred, and all his offspring shall be destroyed from the earth, including any remnant of it, and none springing from him shall exist, except on the day of judgment. Jubilees, chapter 25, verse 1, 5, and 8 through 9. In the second year of this week in this Jubilee, Rebekah called Jacob her son, and spoke to him, saying, My son, do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan as Esau, your brother, who took wives of the daughters of Canaan, and they have made my soul bitter with all their unclean acts. For all their actions are fornication and lust, and there is no righteousness in them, because their deeds are evil. For I remember, mother, the words of Abraham, our father, for he commanded me not to take a wife of the daughters of Canaan, but to take me a wife from the offspring of my father's house and from my kind folks. Despite all that he has commanded me, these 22 years, my brother has argued with me, and spoken frequently to me and said, My brother, take a wife that is a sister of my 2 wives, but I refuse to do as he has done. I swear before you, mother, that all the days of my life, I will not take me a wife from the daughters of the offspring of Canaan, and I will not act wickedly, as my brother has done. Jubilees, chapter 27, verse 8. Rebekah went in and said to Isaac, I hate my life because of the 2 daughters of Heth, whom Esau has taken as wives. If Jacob takes a wife from among the daughters of the land, such as these, I could not live with it, because the daughters of Canaan are evil. Jubilees, chapter 30, verse 7 through 11, and 13 through 15. If there is any man, in Yashael, who wishes to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is the offspring of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. They shall stone him, for he has committed shame in Yashael. They shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Yashael. Do not let an adulteress, and let no uncleanness be found in Yashael throughout all the days of the generations of the earth. For Yashael is holy to Ahijah, and every man who has defiled it, shall surely die. They shall stone him. For it has been ordained, and written, in the heavenly tablets regarding all the offspring of Yashael. He who defiles it shall surely die. He shall be killed by stoning. There is no limit of days for this law. There is no remission, and no atonement. The man who has defiled his daughter, shall be rooted out from every corner of all Yashael, because he has given of his offspring to Moloch, and committed impurity and defiled his child. Moses, command the children of Yashael, and exhort them not to give their daughters to the Gentiles, and not to take for their sons any of the daughters of the Gentiles. For this is abominable before Ahijah. It is a reproach to Yashael, that anyone take the daughters of the Gentiles, for this is unclean and abominable to Yashael. Yashael will not be free from this uncleanness if it has a wife of the daughters of the Gentiles, or has given any of its daughters, to a man who is of any of the Gentiles. There will be plague upon plague, and curse upon curse, and every judgment and plague and curse, will come if he does this thing, or if they ignore those who commit uncleanness, or defile the sanctuary of Yah, or those who profane his holy name. If any of these happen, the whole nation together will be judged, for all the uncleanness and profanation of this man.
The book of Jasher.
Jasher, chapter 29, verse 24. And Isaac called to Jacob and said to him, Take not a wife from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham command us according to the word of Yah, which he had commanded him, saying, Unto your offspring will I give this land, if your children keep my covenant, that I have made with you, then I will also perform to your children that which I have spoken to you, and I will not turn away from them. Jasher, chapter 34, verse 6. They said to them, What is this thing that you have done? Are there no women among the daughters of your brothers, the Canaanites, that you wish to take to yourselves the daughters of the Hebrews, whom ye knew not before, and will do this act which your fathers never commanded you? Jasher, chapter 85, verse 52 through 61. When the children of Yashael stayed in the plain of Shittim, they began to commit prostitution with the daughters of Moab. The children of Yashael approached Moab, and the children of Moab pitched their tents opposite to the camp of the children of Yashael. The children of Moab were afraid of the children of Yashael, and the children of Moab took all their daughters, and their wives of beauty and attractive appearance, and dressed them in gold and silver and costly garments. The children of Moab seated those women at the door of their tents, in order that the children of Yashael might see them and turn to them, and not fight against Moab. All the children of Moab did this thing to the children of Yashael, and every man placed his wife and daughter at the door of his tent. All the children of Yashael saw the act of the children of Moab, and the children of Yashael turned to the daughters of Moab, and coveted them, and they went to them. It came to pass, that when a Hebrew came to the door of the tent of Moab, and saw a daughter of Moab, and desired her in his heart and spoke with her at the door of the tent that which he desired, while they were speaking together, the men of the tent would come out and speak to the Hebrew like these words. Certainly you know that we are brothers, we are all the descendants of Lot, and the descendants of Abraham, his brother. Why then will you not remain with us, and why will you not eat our bread and our sacrifice? When the children of Moab had thus overwhelmed him with their speeches, and enticed him by their flattering words, they seated him in the tent and cooked and sacrificed for him, and he ate of their sacrifice and of their bread. They then gave him wine, and he drank, and became intoxicated. They placed before him a beautiful damsel, and he did with her as he liked, for he knew not what he was doing, as he had drunk plentifully of wine. Thus did the children of Moab to Yashael in that place, in the plain of Shittim, and the anger of Yah was set ablaze against Yashael, on account of this matter. He sent a pestilence among them, and there of the Yashaelites, 24,000 men died.
As you can see, it is important to Yah that we are as obedient as possible to him, for he knows better, to the saving of our souls. Thank you so much, family, for tuning in. More educational videos are on the way. Shalom, Yashael.